Hello everybody and welcome back to part 3 of Loop Heroes, the Loop Hero series. On our last episodes, we didn't quite make it to the boss. We did another run which we went further into. We got, I think, 5 completed loops and went on to our 6th one. And again, we chose to retreat at quite low health because we weren't convinced we were going to survive the next loop. And we were hoping to get additional resources to build some more things. Unfortunately, we're just off on resources for multiple things, such as the refuge. We're quite far off. We're just a metal away from the gymnasium, which gives an additional card, and some special traits, which I'm intrigued to find out about. We're just off on the Herbalist Hut by rations, and also metal for the smithy, which seems to power us up a bit at the start, and unlocks the ability to craft. So I think on the next run, which again we've not really powered up at the base, we haven't done anything so far, we do have the ability to upgrade here. I still can't find out what real benefit this is. If you hover over this axe here, it seems to give you supply slots for tools and for equipped items, So I assume this might give them an additional equipment slot, which again could power us up. But I think I might hold off on this until I can build the gymnasium. I can't see clearly what it's going to take off me to build this. So I think we do another run. Try to see the boss again if we can. But if we can't, we'll cut it short again. And then hopefully on our next episode, we will definitely be strong enough to get onto this boss. I still would like to try and see him now. We kind of wussed out a bit, I'd say, last time. We might have survived the next loop. But I think getting this early resource game seems to be quite strong, because you just make incremental improvements to your character that seem to go a much longer way. So just by adding this field kitchen, we went on an additional loop longer. And I think we might be able to go further. I don't think we unlocked any additional cards, but I'll look back at the deck. Oh, we have. We have now got chrono crystals. Crystals that are able to reflect not only the light of the rising sun, but the passage of dawn itself. So this doubles the effect of a day's passing on adjacent tiles. So this will benefit anything that has an effect with day passing. So the road lantern probably won't be affected by it, nor will the blood growth. The battlefield is at the start of each loop, not daytime, so it won't affect our battlefield. And again, it won't affect beacon, so I think it's only going to affect spawning, so it'll make things spawn quicker. I might hold off on adding this to my deck. I'm not sure what the benefit is yet at the moment. We're, I think, on currently the maximum of our deck size, which is 12. I don't know if it's like many common card games where you want to be as thin deck as possible. I think for now I will keep maybe with what we had before. It seems to be working quite nicely. The only thing I'm not 100% certain on was the cemetery. I'm not sure the benefit of it versus some of the other tiles, but I think we keep it in for now. So we will go on an expedition again with our warrior. He's currently our only character. And let's try and push in further than we did last time. But as I stressed before, the resources and the incremental increases seem to outweigh anything else. But let's try and be a bit more bold this time. Also, we're now starting to see more and more of the same things popping up, so we might have more time to just generally banter. It's quite a lot of thought going into this game, like picking which items you want to equip, whether or not it's better or not. But let's see if we can go with the flow a bit better on this episode. So again, here's our loop. We're going anti-clockwise this time, which probably doesn't make any difference. I'm not sure still if we have the same distance. I presume it is for balancing sake, and it's just the shape that changes. So we have a meadow. I think we'll keep this corner this time for the mountains. Maybe we'll actually just start with a meadow in the corner and try and get this adjacency on the mountain. We've also got some armor, so we have a legendary level 1, I think, which is indicated by the yellow. So definitely better than nothing, and I think it's also better than having 7 extra max HP for 6% vampirism and a bit more damage. So let's just use this armor. Like on the previous 2 episodes, this first loop is basically free for us. So let's get a Blooming Meadow on a rock. So we shouldn't be at any risk of dying. But it really does set our tempo up because this monster scaling seems incredibly high as we go through it. So you really want to be getting much stronger than the enemies. We've just picked up a ring for regen. Only 0.6, but when it's better than nothing. Now we've got our first few items. So we have a spider cocoon. I think I'm going to place this on the inside of this corner. And day's about to tick over, so hopefully we'll get to fight a spider on this tile. And the battlefield gives us a chance of a chest on each loop, and we can get ghosts. We've still not seen the ghost yet, so we're not sure how strong these are. Since it comes at the start of the loop, let's try and get the benefit immediately. Let's place it just after our camp. So indeed we have got this spider that's just spawned in front of us. I don't want that armour either. And we have another spider cocoon. If I place it on this inside this corner, it will be affected by the battlefield. Maybe we should try it. Maybe we'll try and get some ghosts this time and see how strong they are. Because, as it says before, there is this proportionality between the difficulty of the enemy and the loot we get. So it might be better facing difficult enemies early, when we seem to have a more forgiving amount of HP. And hopefully outscaling them with the loot we get. We have our mountain. I'll pause it after this to add it. We seem to be picking up a lot of armour at the moment, or these slimes being not digesting the armour, which I guess thematically makes sense. It's a large piece of metal. But I would very much like a weapon soon. Still no weapons. But let's try and make this 3x3 grid of mountains again. Aha, our first shield. 3 defense. Lovely, I'll take it. And we were at no risk of dying on this loop, but we finished our first loop, so enemies now will start getting more difficult. We've also got this first chest. Let's hope it's not a mimic. It is a mimic, of course. So this is going to be hitting us quite hard now, especially if we have no weapon. But still, we will get through this just fine. This little tick heal of vampirism is helping us along. So indeed, must be a difficult enemy. We have this level 3 shield immediately. It's just a straight upgrade. Gives us attack speed, which works very well with vampirism. Counter also works with vampirism, and I think the damage to all also works with vampirism. So great all round. Another spider cocoon, and I think for now we'll just place this in this corner where it's quite barren at the moment. So I think this spider can't spawn a ghost. No, it can only be on these 2 tiles. Again, the raw stat. Yeah, the raw stat I don't think is worth it at the moment. I'm quite happy with the armour we have. We have a first treasury. Let's place this in this corner. And another day passes. Still looking for a weapon. Aha. We'll definitely take it. It's pretty poor, but better than nothing. So I mentioned on the first episode that it was a bit hectic around here because our kitten had just been neutered. Don't worry, she's fine. She's slept off her cat high she got from the effects of it. And now she's right as rain. She was very interesting last night in a sense that she was patting at her water and throwing it over her. So I came down in the middle of the night to find her very soggy moggy. But other than that, she was unharmed. She spent the most of the night actually just like wandering around. So she's been very sleep deprived recently. And it's showing today because she's sleeping like a baby, she is. But hopefully she'll carry on. She seems to be completely out of the clear now. We were obviously worried about her. This armour is basically... Sorry, just to interrupt. Yeah, this armour is just evasion instead of vampirism. Oh, and a bit of defense. I think I'll keep the vampirism for now. Yeah, as I was saying, I think people treat pets very interestingly. Some people definitely see them more as a family member than others. For us, Millie's definitely a part of our family, so we were like very worried for her, and like we weren't sleeping well the night before she got neutered. But obviously it's a very common procedure, and Now we're just spoiling her. But you talk to some people and, like, you question whether or not they really love the pets or they're just there as, like, a side piece. I mean, we're trying to do the best for her, but I think in the end we're doing fine. We're approaching a 3x3 mountain just to go back onto the game. We've still got pretty poor items. We have this blood grove which we currently can't place because we have no forest tiles of any type. Again, we open the chest. Not a mimic this time. We're hoping for some good loot. So we have now level 3 armor, which I will definitely change. So we're going to lose the vampirism now, which was probably our main source of healing. I think we have a small amount of regen, but the max HP outweighs this now. And we can trade 3 defense more for losing counter and attack speed. I think I'd rather keep the attack speed. I think these buffs are combined together pretty powerful actually for early game loot. So this slime could spawn a ghost, but we've still not seen yet. And we're still not going to sing. We have another meadow now, which will turn to a blooming meadow to improve our regen at the start of each day. So we're 1 tile of our high peak. Oh, I should be using these meadows actually to unlock the treasury. That was my mistake. We've also picked up a Gladius, which is just a straight stat upgrade on our old one. And we're gonna carry on. This, again, oh sorry, I think that's the old shield actually. It's not worth it. Let's continue to try and open this. This probably gave us some of our best loot. We've now also got a vampire mansion, which I would like to use as much as I can. I think the vampire spider combo is working well. So let's try it down here. We've also got a spear, which is 1 less damage, but has counter and 2 damage to all, so it is actually just better. So again, let's equip it. And it'll be very useful for coming into this area where we have multiple enemies on a single tile. So this run so far, I'd say is okay. We're not in danger of being killed at the moment, but equally I don't feel like we're just walking over enemies so far. So it might be slightly weaker than our run yesterday. Yeah, absolutely, I'll take that. We'll get a mountain as well, so harpies now spawn. And a cemetery, let's stick it up. Let's stick it up here. With 1 more rock, we'll spawn a goblin camp, and I think I'm okay with this for now. Let's place it here to try and unlock the treasury. So it has gone in a very dangerous place. I'm slightly concerned about that being next to the vampire mansion. I might try to believe in it if I get a card. Another blood grove. We're really hoping on the grove, which we just got. So we want to play this around enemies. I think we might place it. We might place it here and try and use the blood grove to help us kill the enemies in this corner, which is becoming more and more difficult. I think our other vampire mansion we're going to place on this corner. I don't want the vampires and ghosts to... Sorry, I don't want vampires to become ghosts. I think that might be too difficult, so let's just stick it up here for now. And we have a road lantern, which I think I'll stick on this corner to reduce the amount of goblins. So we've neutralised this tile a lot more now. We do have 1 more blood grove, which we could have placed there, but let's leave it for now and try and get another grove. So this will be a much more difficult corner than anything else we've had so far on this run. We have got an Oblivion, but as I said, we've kind of neutralised this goblin camp for now. So I might leave it. I'm sticking the rocks in the corners at the moment because we're not getting blooming meadows on the corner adjacency, so I think this is just a good filler. We do lose the 2 more HP for every rock or mountain, but I think that's fine. So we have a multitude of enemies here, goblin, a vampire, and a slime. We do have a decent amount of damage to all, and now the blood grove is helping us with that fight, which would otherwise been very challenging for us. I think I might go ahead and put another blood grove on this corner and have the blood grove here again to help. So this is now being neutralized quite well. We have another meadow. And we're 2 tiles off opening this treasury and hopefully getting some better loot. We did pick up some armor, trade some of our evasion for damage to all, and I think that's a good trade at the moment. It seems, I don't know if it's just this act or how this will progress with additional monsters, but we do seem to have a lot of swarming monsters, and it seems to be quite important later on to pick up some damage to all. Another Oblivion and a Cemetery. I think I'll keep putting these cemeteries together for now. I'm just wondering, actually, now that I think about it, spawns enemies on adjacent tiles can become ghosts. I'm just wondering whether or not, we've seen before on certain monsters that they have a moniker saying they have a soul. I'm wondering if a monster has to have a soul for it to become a ghost, because currently we've not seen any spiders. So maybe we'll actually try and put a mansion on this corner, as a vampire mansion, because I think they're the only creature we've seen so far with a soul other than goblins, but we can't control them. Again, this is not a mimic chest, and it's given us another level 3 shield, which gives us regen, equivalent counter, equivalent attack speeds. So it's damage to all versus regen. I don't think we need the regen right now. We also picked up another beacon, which, as I mentioned before, we don't really want to put this with the vampires. I think having it by the skeletons is fine. So let's try it here for now. They don't seem to have an additional effect on their attack, they just attack hard. Another day has passed, we have another spider cocoon. I think I'm happy to put this on this inside corner here with our blood grove to help us fight it. Single harpy shouldn't be a problem for us at this stage of the game. I still don't know if we're in a strongly position as before. It feels as though maybe, although this weapon might push us up. Yeah, trading some damage to all for evasion. I'll take it. Also much higher damage. These skeletons seem to be dropping a lot better loot, so I think I'm quite happy with the cemeteries being in our deck. This is a massive increase to our HP, and now we're suddenly starting to stack evasion. We have 26% evasion, and if you can't be hit, you can't be damaged. We're also picking up a resource coming through here, which I think was the pebbles. We have to remember this resource gain. It might be worth placing or keeping some things on the deck to get the resources, and possibly those chrono crystals we didn't put into a deck. Maybe we should just be putting in because they might give a different resource that we've not seen yet. So a cemetery I think I'll have up here, all of them affected by this beacon. The rock I'll put on this final corner, and another mountain up here for adjacency. We do have another beacon. I think I might keep this stacking with the skeletons. I assume it stacks with one another. I'm not sure. I think having it in here is also a possibility, but it's quite dangerous to have it on each of the corners. I'm very worried about this stacking with a vampire house. So let's keep these just together for now. And let's carry on. Again, pretty poor armor of this, but it was just a single spider. Beginning to appreciate more that it's better to have some more difficult enemies than just these simple enemies, and maybe we should be rising our difficulty higher early on, because we're not really struggling at the moment. We are coming through the more difficult corner, but again, Blood Grove should help us here. Yeah, Blood Grove basically lets us one-shot the spider. We've dealt with the vampire quite comfortably. And now we will open this. Could also potentially be worth waiting for the loop to go to then open it as we complete the loop. I don't know if this gives us better loot. This armor is worse, I think, but this ring is a lot better. 16% attack speed is insane. We haven't seen anything that high so far. And now we're at plus 20% attack speed. It'd be very nice to pick up something like Vampirism to gain a benefit from attacking more often. Currently, we're only gaining it off the damage to all, which is still nice. Let's keep our rocks up here for now. I think there is a case to be made to hold them in case we get another empty treasure. Get another treasury to open. But let's try and keep the momentum in our favour. Oh, I just noticed as well we picked up a level 5 shield, which is 18 defense, but it removes that damage to all. And it takes some attack speed away and counter. I think I'll take the raw defense just to try and keep us alive. I think this is a decent trade. Let's make another blooming meadow. It might be worth trying to put 2 battlefields together and see what that gives us, but I think for now, for safety's sake, we put it into this corner. There's no enemies here at the moment, and we'll keep just trying to get the loot off it. And we have another rock, which we'll place next to the mountain. So this run I feel like is probably slightly worse paced than before. We're taking more damage earlier on the loop, which is a bit of a worrying sign. Might mean that we need to rejig our deck slightly. And perhaps we need to consider that our placement's a bit better. Single units again, quite easy. So we have multiple groves now, so I think we'll just place these on the inside of these corners. This is affected by a lantern as well, so we can't get too difficult over here. And I think I will make another blooming meadow. Our heal when we hit the camp will be 30%, so we're not going to go back to full. So we're hoping really to pick up some vampirism at some point. I don't know about this, but we need the better loot, so I'm considering putting this onto a tile with enemies. I'm not sure if it'll work with the skeletons. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. And we'll run again. If we die, so be it. Okay, that chest gave us a legendary armor, so it's less HP, but we get counter and regen per second. It's trading it for evasion. We were asking for a heal, but I'm not sure if it's worth trading up that amount of evasion. The weapon, though, I think is. So we'll just take the regen off the weapon for now. I think that's a fine trade. So another harpy is coming down, maybe into the battlefield. So again, we've still not seen one of these ghosts. So it could destroy us, but hopefully we're safe enough. I think this is the loot we hit on our last run. So we're ideally looking to push ahead. I'm fairly certain we had more health last time, so it's not looking too good right now, but you never know how things can change in this game. We have another grove. I think for now I'm just going to place this. I might place it here, try to get another blood grove here, and then look at putting some monsters and tiles here. So a 4 enemy tile here of quite simple enemies. But you can see we're not far into a loop, and we've already had our health shrunk down quite considerably. That loses regen, so that ring is just worse. Yeah, again, not seeing anything we're getting any better. We're approaching a point as well where I think we're about to spawn another goblin camp, so I'm considering holding off on this rock. I think we have a 3x3, another 6 here, 15. So yeah, the next mountain we place down will spawn a goblin camp. I'm going to hold the rock for now. But let's make another blooming meadow. Cemetery, I think we'll keep. We won't get a skeleton there yet anyway. We have another beacon. I don't know, getting a bit concerned about this. Beacons at the moment seem to be fairly weak. I've not seen a huge benefit from having them. But I don't know, we're 3 episodes in. It might be the strongest card in the game for all I know. I just noticed this time, I was questioning last time, we had this gargoyle spawn. It appears to be spawning from the empty treasury. Oh yeah, it does say, spawns a gargoyle every 3 days. So that's where they're coming from. Helps to read these things. I don't know if I also read the treasury text. A treasury without treasure, an empty shell, a sorry sight, especially for its stone guardians. They've slept through their eternal watch. So this is where we're getting our gargoyles from. We didn't notice last time them being too challenging, so I think it's always worth popping them rather than waiting. Let's have a look again at these items. So we've got a shield that's just better than our old one, so let's take that. So this ring would be trading our 16% attack speed and some of our... Oh no, we wouldn't be losing regen, but we'd be gaining evasion and counter and damage to all. I feel like this 16% attack speed could carry us with the right item. I might hold off again from swapping this for now, but we'll see. So this creature has a soul, so let's see if it spawns a ghost. Fortunately, we have an evasion there. Aha! I think that was a ghost briefly, but we just insta-killed it. So it doesn't like the ghosts are too challenging, at least. We have another weapon here with lower damage but higher attack speed, higher evasion and vampirism. I think I will take this. There's obviously a calculation we can do to work out whether or not the plus 4% attack speed is worth losing 3 damage on. Although it's only 3 off the high damage, it's 1 on the low damage. But I think the vampirism, we just need that sustain at the moment. Realistically, when we come round this loop, which is now starting to add up, we're going to die. So we're going to place another Blooming Meadow. Day's halfway through. We're not at risk of spawning the boss yet. And let's keep fighting through. So the chest doesn't have a soul, so I assume it must be that has the mechanic for spawning a ghost. Or at least that's what I'm assuming so far. Generating the 16%. It gives us counter and vampirism and damage to all. This would take our vampirism to 15%, so we'd be healing 2 off every hit. Versus killing things quicker. It's a tough... I think it's a tough trade, but I think we go with it. Let's see. Maybe this is a mistake, but... Hey, let's try and learn. So yeah, we are gaining 2 or 3 HP off each hit. We've got another ghost spawn there, so it does appear to be the creature has to have the effect of a soul for them to become a ghost, which I guess thematically makes sense, but doesn't specify in the text. We have another Oblivion card. We could consider obliviating tiles around here to make sure we get around. Let us place this again, gain the resources. This is another Blooming Meadow. We've also now got a level 6 shield, which I think is just almost a straight upgrade. It's an additional 3 defense, and instead of having 4 magic damage, it's 2 to all. We're coming up to an area with multiple mobs, so it's actually more damage than the single target. Hopefully, with this damage to all now, which we've got 4, and the Blood Rose helping us, we'll survive this corner. We've gained another beacon, another Road Lantern as well. I think we need to place this around here somewhere. We need to start limiting mobs. I've not really thought this through actually, I've not left myself much space. But I think we're going to place one here to reduce a mob here. But it's becoming very crowded around here now. I don't think we want a beacon down here with the vampires. So I'm considering holding off from the beacon as well. I'm not sure where's best for this yet. Maybe over here. Let's carry on. It would be nice if we could hit these spiders at the moment. There we go. Quite high regen, 2.4 regen. So it appears at the moment the grey backgrounds are just the raw stats. They don't have other effects on top of it. This might be what the difference between the levels are. So maybe orange is 4, yellows are 3, and blue must be 2 different effects. It appears to be the case from what I can see at the moment. Do I want 2.4 regen? I don't think it's worth the trade, and that shield is just worse. So let's carry on. Let's not place that rock, sorry. As I said, we're going to spawn a goblin camp. I would rather try and wait. Also, we should check goblins on a day, so it'd be nice to wait for a day to take over if we're going to put these rocks down. Oh, we have two Harpers in the same tile. Bit of unluck in us there. We are evading a decent amount. Ah, level 5 armor. Big knockdown on our max HP. Great increase to our attack speed and raises our counter. We lose evasion now. Again, I said that attack speed and vampirism probably goes hand in hand, so this might be the correct play to try and attack more often. But I'm not sure we survived losing 14% evasion on it. But I think, let's try and stick with this theme then. We'll try and stack vampirism and attack speed and see how we go with it. So we will take it and just see how we go through this corner. If we look like we're going to die, we can obliviate 3 tiles and we can retreat if we have to. But as I said, I would like to see the boss on this run if we can. So our days just passed by. We've now got a level 6 ring. Not interested in counter. We're healing 6 on each hit, which is good against these quite weak mobs. But as you can see now, we're really hemorrhaging damage on this fight without the evade. I mean, we still have a small evasion, but it's only 8% now. Got really brutalized on this tile. I think we placed down another meadow. I think we hold off on the mountains for one more cycle. One more danger cycle this is. We should survive this battle as well. The groves will also help us greatly. Another thing we don't think we have seen yet is, do we have a hand limit or not? I don't know yet. We seem to be close to finding out. Let's hold these meadows for now. So this is the fight that I'm worried about. Okay, so extra cards get knocked off. And we appear to get an additional resource. Memory fragment, so maybe it's worth letting some of these drop off. We're about to have another day-night cycle tick over. We're getting very, very weak at the moment. I think now I think we place this down, we try and just tick the day over, and then we push everything down, open this treasury and see what we get. Hopefully the goblin camp spawns on the other side of the map, and we evaluate how we are. We're now dropping down to a quarter of our HP. The vampirism is not out healing the damage. It's getting close though. Let's try and pop this now. I'll even use mountains on this, I think. It's worth it for the resource gain as well. If we can open it, which we can. So we've got another spider cocoon. Our loot at the moment. That's more vampirism. No, it's not, sorry, it's the same vampirism. It comes with regen. Is it worth it? God, I did say that we're hoping there will be less decisions on this, but currently we have some items that are coming up that are very similar to one another. I think there's so many times where we've had multiple monsters together that we keep the damage to all. And this shield I don't see as a great improvement. It's 7 less defense. It does increase our damage to all, and our attack speed, and our evasion. But our evasion's not high enough that we can rely on it at the moment. I don't think 18% is high enough either. We could place down more spider cocoons. Unfortunately for us, the goblin camp spawned there, so I think I'm going to just obliviate this. We can't deal with them at the moment. It's becoming too dangerous around here. There is also something coming out of the Blood Grove which we've not seen yet. Oh, it's over here as well, so I'm very worried of what that is. The only way to find out is to go through a loop. So I think we might hold off on putting more creatures down. We will place these rocks down though. I don't know. Let's see how we're on the loop. I kind of want to push it a bit further and not just pull out too early. But I think the sensible option is just to withdraw on this loop. I think we're going to die otherwise. Or we're soon going to die. Oh, we come against a single rat wolf again. One more harpy, and I guess we decide what our HP is after that. We do have a damage to our ring, but I don't think we can take it really. We need the vampirism at the moment. So just looking at it, we're half HP, everything's got stronger again. We have some unknown mobs down here now. I think we go for it. I think it's the wrong play for like logic, but I really would like to try and push a bit further. This is where we pulled out last time. We got the resources, we don't need much to upgrade anymore. Let's roll with it. Maybe we'll get a better item. I said I'm still incredibly scared of this corner, but I think the first part at least is good enough. We can check the chest, hopefully we'll get a good drop and we can start outscaling the enemies. So as I say that, we get a level 3 shield, which we're not going to be using. Not a mimic again on this chest. Again, level 5 loot. It is higher max HP. And we're trading it for counter. Great trade, I'll have that. And then we have a sword which is considerably more damage, but we lose vampirism. And I think that's a trade we can't make at the moment. I'm not worried to obliviate this. I'm not 100% sure I'm worried about any of this. The Obliviate tiles I think will be coming around here if we're going to use it. I'm kind of sorry we lost those two from before now. But hey, you have to live and learn. Again, we have poor loot here. I'm not sure if we're hitting a limit at the moment, but it seems like we're not getting anything higher than 6, and most of the times we're getting 5s. So I'm going to place this grove here. I'm becoming anxious as well with the boss meter. I don't want to spawn the boss at the moment, because I think that will definitely kill us. I know we won't go into this trying to fight him, but maybe we're just too weak at the moment. So I placed this here just to give me an additional resource. Place the mountains again. I think I'm holding on to these. Okay, I'm rapidly considering obligating the next tile. Level 5 shield. Worse. This tile could be the end for us. We're third of a HP. 2 skeletons and a gargoyle. They're hitting incredibly hard. This might be it, guys. Might be a first death. Nope, we just survived. And we've picked up level 7 loot, so that is the difficulty of a battle we have to face to get this type of loot. So it's, again, considerable HP for us, so we definitely want to wear this. And I think we have to take the damage over the vampirism now. It also comes with added defense. We're very close to dying. The Road Lantern at the moment, I'm not sure where we can place it that gives us a great benefit. We could place it... Oh no, I don't think we'll... No, we don't hit it, so that won't benefit us. All we can really do is place it here and stop another spider spawning. Which I think we will do. This next battle could be it for us. I'm hoping this is not a mimic. No, it's just a normal chest. So skeletons are hitting for 60 now, so we're one hit away from dying. Okay, we're incredibly lucky to still be alive. We have now level 7 shield, which is better. And a level 7 weapon that comes with evasion at the cost of defense. I don't think this is going to make a huge difference. This would only take our evasion to 16%. That's not enough to rely on it. We're one hit away. Realistically, I'd love to find out what the boss is. I'd like to find out what these mobs are. But I'm not going to survive the next battle. I'm one hit from death, so I think we're going to do, for the first time, retreating not on a camp. So because we've retreated not on account, we lose a huge amount of resources. But it's better than dying, we lose more. It includes losing one of this new resource. We've got a memory fragment, which we have just found out by removing... Sorry, from overfilling your hand you get this resource. But we're not strong enough to carry on, so let's retreat. We have no additional dialogue while we're here. Let's see what we can build. We're still off the refuge, so we can't get the new class of rogue. We can make a gymnasium now, a herbalist hut, or a smithy. So this lets us start with basic gear, and we can craft tools from the camp if supply depot is built. Okay. Supply depot is up here, so that takes a while for us to unlock. So I'm not sure how much of a power creep this really is. The gymnasium, on the other hand, we get an additional card and special traits. I think this is what we get. I think this is going to be the thing that pushes us over and lets us see the boss finally. So we get to choose where we're going to put our gymnasium. Let's have it near the food so we can just work out pounding like boxing, not really boxing bags, yes, but like dummies all day, and then just straight into the kitchen for some foods. So that's how it works. Instead of remembering something, you can just learn it again. That's a nice trick. There's no ill intent. Without education, our world would be left to the savages. You too could learn a few things, though. We could all get together and share our useful knowledge and skills. Nah, I already know all I need to. Leave learning to the kids. Your first lesson, learn to like learning. That would make life easier for both of us. So immediately we can apparently upgrade this gymnasium. So this is showing additional slots now. So this gives us furniture, tools, and equipped items. I don't know what the furniture is. Maybe it's worth upgrading one of these as well while I'm here to get an additional slot, because that is a considerable amount of either HP or damage we could get. Let's see how much we lose off this. So we have 5 wood, 8 stone, 2 of this. Oh, it tells you on the upgrade. Okay, we're nowhere near that. Okay, I see. We just had to click on it. That's how we figure it out. So the upgrades are incredibly expensive, so we won't be upgrading at the moment. And I think we'll just be expanding through the build tree. Again, I think this will do it. I think it's a good length of video, just doing one of these loops. Hopefully next time we will be able to push through and actually fight this boss. We also saw some weird orange enemies coming from the groves, so the blood groves. Not seen them yet. They might wreck us next time. You never know. So, thanks for watching again. Like, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.